Is it 3 o'clock? No, we're a little bit early. But the early bird gets the worm. All right. So it's Boy Green meets Wudi, and we got something special to talk about because it's also an early discussion. We're talking about training camp. It's not here yet, but we're going to talk about it early. Who do we feel the best? I don't even know what just happened.
I'm so sorry. I got a little trigger happy there. Go ahead. You can finish.
I mean, it's all good. We can play the intro. Look at this amateur hour, 1 o'clock. The amateur hour.
Zoinks! It is unequivocally the Super Bowl for New York Jet fans.
Field Yates, baby. Field Gosh darn Yates. Let's bring him on the show.
Come on, people. Connor Rogers is joining the show. What's up, Connor? But Trevor Gosh darn Sycamore, baby, for me, personally, my favorite New York Jet of all time.
Wow, it's great to be on. What an intro that was right there.
Paul, nobody does an intro like you, man.
Paul, you give the best intro of literally any podcast that I've ever been.
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas.
Welcome to another episode of Boy Green Meets Wudi. It is your boy, James Wudi, ready to talk some New York Jets. And I don't know if my man Boy Green is ready because he's repping the Celtic green. That's what he's talking about, a different type of green, talking something else. And I know now our faces are turning green with the nausea, but all right, congratulations. You won some sort of award. Boy Green, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. So I did go early on the button. I was kind of hovering over it, but I mean, this is an early show. We're early ahead of training camp. It just made sense to continue the consistent theme of early.
All right, well, cock-a-doodle-doo. It is time to talk training camp. It's coming up. What's the exact date? You got it. I know Boy Green knows.
Yes. Report day is July 23rd, and then the first practice is the 24th. So we are a little over a month away. All
right.
But we're going to fly by. We got this show. We got Boy Green Daily. We got all these shows that'll help us make the time seem like it's going by like nothing.
Yes, absolutely. So definitely stay locked in. This is the best channel to subscribe to if we talking New York Jets. Through, before, during, and after training camp, just through training camp, here on out, there will be plenty of great discussion, including today's discussion. You will get to hear a great list, and then you'll have Boy Green's list of the positions we feel best about leading into training camp. Like Boy Green said, it's a little bit over a month away. All of these groups we hope will improve. We'll see some stocks rise. We'll see some stocks fall. But all in all, we hope that the team will gel and become that well-oiled machine that will stomp down in San Francisco and shock the world week one. That is the hope. If you are Boy Green, that's a spoiler, but it all starts with that. So we will have a list, top 5 list of who James Wudi feels is the best position groups, and Boy Green feeling the best position groups going into training camp. Obviously, there will be cuts, right? So the roster won't look the same now as it will after training camp.
That's true. And I will just say, for the person that will have the best list, Boy Green. Just want to throw that out there in the universe.
What did that sound have to do with? Like you didn't say Boy Green.
No, it kind of did. You just had to squint. Like you pick up a seashell in the ocean, put it up. Yeah.
So squint. Okay, squint your eyes to hear the imaginary.
You're all together here. Yeah.
Sounds logical. So
who goes first?
Yeah. Should we rock paper? Nah, we don't have to rock paper. You can go.
Oh, okay, great. And so I want to make sure there's an important distinction here. So you said two different things. So you said the top 5 strongest positional groups and also the ones we feel most confident in. So there is, there is some emphaticness. Top 5 strongest. This is just what they are. There's no opinion. It just boom, here it is. And there is the one you feel more confident in. That's a different flavor.
So what flavor is your list? And we'll roll with that.
My flavor, well, your secondary flavor of the confidence changes a few things on the list, but I will stick to my list as constructed. I will stick to my
strongest.
list.
You went with the original, the strongest.
I went with both. I factored in both things into the list, but I'm just saying they're different.
So the distinction actually doesn't matter, is what you're saying. Boy, Green.
So let me go 5-1. The group that
You're
I'm
gonna go
doing,
all through right now.
No, I'm just saying we're doing the list 5-1.
Yes,
I'm just going to rip
that is
off.
how we do it on the
boom,
show.
Boom, boom, boom. No, I'm just not just going to load a full clip on you. No, but I'm just saying we're going from 5-1 to give it, the drama and everything. The one that is, it cracks a top 5, and I feel the most confident in is the quarterback position. I feel great about Aaron Rodgers. I feel great about Tyrod Taylor. I love the developmental third wheel, which is Jordan Travis. We'll see if another quarterback gets added to the rotation. I know they have Andrew Peasley with a capital P, but we'll see if they get a more well-known name as another arm to make it through training camp, depending on Jordan Travis's rehab and recovery in camp. But the quarterback position is great, and I'm going to be honest, I don't know the last time I've been able to include that in a list like this to highlight, not to make fun of, to highlight in a good way of how confident we feel in it. It just feels so good to have QB1, Aaron Rodgers, our Lord and Savior, God bless. And then if anything is to go wrong, whether seasonally or quite frankly, more realistically, it's a game 2 or 3, I feel really good with Tyrod Taylor, who still has a bazooka as a deep arm thrower, who I feel really good about. Tyrod Taylor, quarterback, top 5 on the list.
That's a really good choice. I see, Uncle VR made his list in the comments, and he omitted the QB position. I also omitted the QB position.
Wow.
Actually.
Wow.
But no, I mean, it is I think that's more of a testament of how strong we're feeling about the roster in general. But no, I mean, it's how is it not strong? Like, how
didn't even put it on the list. Wow. Okay. Oh, all right.
Yeah. I should have. Now that I feel like my list is not great.
It's inferior. Yeah. You should have felt like that at the beginning.
It is the beginning still, but no, we'll see. But yes, QB, definitely feeling great about that one. Two studs in there.
I just feel like I flabbergasted you. We're in the middle of a fight. I just went boom, and all of a sudden, whoa! I got jelly legs. I just smacked. You're like, whoa, wait, the quarterback position, and then the ref's like, wait, 1, 2, 3, and he's counting. He's seeing you a little wobbly. You're a Bambi. You're a deer that just a fresh deer out there, wacky waving inflatable arm flare like Tube Man out in the streets. But go ahead, recover.
Number 5. Don't push me because I'm close to the
edge.
I'm trying not to lose my head over this Hassan Reddick issue. If this was not an issue, the position would be higher on my list. But with the issue of Hassan and what the fallout for that could be, they have fallen. They have fallen to number 5 on my list. Otherwise, Jermaine Johnson, I'm expecting him to climb. It's tough because NFL players, like, it's not like all of them get better every single year. That's if that was the case, then the average NFL career wouldn't be 3 or 4 seasons, right? Sometimes people, can be a flash in the pan or something like that. But I believe in Jermaine. I think he will get better than he was last year. Will McDonald, the bar is low for that. Like, for that, yeah, hopefully he's better than he was last year. But then moving down, some of the undrafted guys, Brady McGregor, I'm feeling good about this position as a whole. But at the top, is it one of the best in the league with Hassan Reddick? Hell yeah. Without Reddick, it's still pretty solid. So that is the theme of my list as you see it play out.
Spoiler alert, didn't make the top 5 for me.
Wow.
Did not. And because of what you said, confidence and all these things with the position, Hassan Reddick on the roster as part of this machine as we're evaluating. Yeah. He's one of the best. The moment he was traded here to the Jets, he was one of the best players instantly on the team. He's spectacular. He's phenomenal. But when you remove that, and again, we talk about, the bar scene, right? You see a girl over there like, oh, that's a 10. I'm like, Wudi, look a little closer, shallow Hal. And you're like, geez. Oh, that's a 7 surrounded by some 4s. It's propping her up. Okay. Hassan Reddick with this group. Will McDonald is a big bag of, I don't know. No idea. Jermaine Johnson, the arrow's pointing up, and I think he's going to take another leap because it's been leaps. He's been leaping through a prairie. Ooh, and I'm expecting another ooh, but I don't know if that's what's going to be delivered. I'm not certain. Will McDonald is a big, I don't know. Like Hassan Reddick is the straw that stirs the drink, and it sets the rest of the room. You mentioned some of the younger guys you kind of feel good about. It feels good to feel good about those when I know Reddick. Like I just heard someone say, I was listening to radio coming in to the radio show, and they said Dak Prescott might bet on himself this year. And a guy cut in and said, yeah, it's a little easier to bet on yourself when your career earnings are $250 million. Like you already have that in the bank. When we have Hassan Reddick already in the bank, it's easier to look at the rest of the room going, ooh, yeah. But when you don't have the Reddick presence of me, you're like, ooh. You kind of squint. It's not as no JFM, no Bryce Huff. It just the room looks different without that guy, and that shows how important, obviously, all of this is. So again, we'll see. But did not make the top 5. Did not make the list. No, sir, did not.
Very fair.
Okay, I'm going to be specific on this one, and this may be a point of contention potentially with me and Tio and anyone else who puts in their own top 5 list out there. I'm going to specifically say offensive tackle. I'm not just going to generalize and say offensive line because in the same way you said edge, does that include Quinnen Williams? No. So I'm going to separate it in the same sense and say the offensive tackle room. At left tackle, we have a Pro Football Hall of Famer who is spectacular. And he's still, again, it's not a Lifetime Achievement Award. This is not a guy who, oh, wow, he was, let me tell you, son, I'm grandpa in the rocking chair. Tyron Smith back in the day, he was pretty good. No, like he was the second team All-Pro last year. So this is not just some swan song. He's really good right now. So Hall of Famer at left tackle. And Morgan Moses, while he isn't considered in the same category, he's not, as far as I know, going to the Hall of Fame based on what he's done. He's just a pro's pro, man. He is just an absolute professional that more times than not, outside of the torn pec last year, which actually is even more a tip of a cap as opposed to concern of missing games. Like, man, look at that guy. He's a friggin' warrior, and he's just rock solid. And then you have the break the glass emergency of Olu Fashanu behind him. And, of course, Carter Warren, I guess, would be the immediate backup at this point to Morgan Moses. But I'm just going to talk top 3 tackles, and then we'll see where the rest pans out with camp. Fashanu, I feel phenomenal about. So you got those 3. That may be perhaps the best offensive tackle trio the Jets have had in a very long time, if not ever, when you think about that triplets of guys in terms of potential and proven production on the field. I'm going to put offensive tackle inside the top 5.
I definitely co-sign the specificity that you used, like you said, offensive tackle versus offensive line, edge versus D-line, completely co-sign that. And those players are definitely pretty good. Jet up! Hey. So definitely there's some talent in that room for sure. My number 4, it probably didn't crack your list. This was the one where I put it on. I was like, oh, boy, I'm ready to defend my pick. Is going to be the wide receivers. I know Boy Green was, Odell, please, you 30-year-old man, can you please come and join our team? But no, how it is right now is it's looking good. Let's hypothetically take out Garrett Wilson and Mike Williams, the 2 top 10 picks that are in that room. You would be left with Alan Lazard, Malachi Corley, and like Xavier Gibson.
Yeah.
That was pretty much what Aaron Rodgers had his last full season as a quarterback in Green Bay. That's what he had Alan Lazard, a second round receiver, and then a couple of undrafted receivers. It's the same. But now you add a top 10 pick in Mike Williams. You add another top 10 pick in Garrett Wilson. This wide receiver room, I don't think it's getting enough love. I know it's not getting enough love from Boyd Green, but I'm talking about nationally. I don't know if it's getting enough love. Like Garrett Wilson, what we've seen him do with people throwing him the football that arguably shouldn't be employed in the National Football League has been magnificent. Like it might be one of the greatest feats I've ever seen in pro sports, how much he's been able to accomplish with such little talent. 7 quarterbacks, right? I think I cannot remember the exact stat right now, but the amount of targets and yards he's gotten, right? In his first 2 years, he's like one of 4 players in NFL history, but all 4 of those players have had the same QB. He's had 7 QBs in these 2 years. And apart from Mike White, I hate all of them. So now he has Aaron Rodgers, Mike Williams. Just that, like, going down the list, this is probably the best group that I feel won through, the last one to make the team. I feel great about all of them. Give me the wide receiver room all day. They're going to eat this year. Aaron or Tyrod at the helm.
Did not make the list. Sorry. Did not. Sorry, wide receivers. Did not. I love Garrett. And Mike, God, I hope he's healthy. We just, I think we did a show over the weekend talking about Mike Williams being this big X factor. That's what Mina Kimes and Greg Rosenthal said on their ESPN show, that, Mike Williams is the biggest X factor for the season that is a non-coach or non-quarterback. And boy, when he's on the field, he just kind of changes the entire perspective. So I will be curious, but no, did not make the list. Let's go somewhere else, perhaps. Come on, man. This is easy peasy on my list. Actually, I'll save this. I'll save that one. I'll make an executive choice and save that one because, this is a ranking, of course. Give me the running back position. That's where I want to go. And here's why. Because it's not strength. So that's where I guess I'm going against the frame here. And this is why we have that split of like, does it matter? Wudi, Boyd Green, it doesn't matter. And the distinction between a kerfluffle and a kerfluffle. Okay? This is where it does because it's Breece Hall. Okay, we know who that guy is. Braylon Allen, unproven. Isaiah Davis, unproven. And the only thing he proved is we've had some conversations about that. And then Nick Bowden, if you want to throw him in there, I guess. So it's not about a strength from that perspective. It's a confidence level for me. Breece Hall, yep, pretty damn good. Feel good about that. And everything I've seen from Braylon Allen has changed my perspective. We did, Wudi, me and you, all our mock draft shows and stuff like that. I'm going to be honest, I didn't really want 1 running back, let alone 2. I said, let's just get a veteran in there. We're all gravy, baby, and let's roll. But what we've seen from Braylon, what we've seen from Isaiah, it's been a little lackluster, to be honest with you. Some mistakes, lineup mistakes, fumbling issues, and things of that nature. I'm not overreacting to any of that. But, it's cool to hear the principles from the coaching staff that they want these young stallions, how they plan on operating the offense. Of course, you have Tariq Cohen, who I didn't mention in there as well. He's more so returner, it seems, than running back, but nonetheless, he's obviously in that room. I just feel really confident about the room. There is a confidence there of Breece Hall going on another level and Braylon Allen being that consistent RB2 that can help out in short yardage, goal line, and apparently as, the top flight receiver. Who's our best receiver on the team? Garrett Wilson or Braylon Allen? Who knows based on the OTAs? Braylon Allen's been catching passes all over the gosh darn place. Got to put RB at number 3 on the list. Yes.
Okay. So not going to overreact to the bad from OTAs, but we'll wildly overreact to the good of OTAs. Okay. Got really nothing much else to say over there. We got one.
RB didn't crack your list?
Oh, not even close. Not even close. There's one good running back on the team. or one proven. Although he might
Wow.
be one great running back. Talking about top 5 in the league. But I mean that's actually the exact opposite of what I was saying. Moving down, as you go from 1 to 2 to 3, 1 to 2 is a massive, like, oh my god, the Mount Everest of drops from 1 to 2 in that room. So I can't feel, I just can't, even if I wanted to, I can't feel as good about it as I do the others that I listed. So number 3 on my list, give me a specific position. Give me offensive tackle. We have our first match on either list. I mean, you definitely highlighted it. What I'm gonna say is that this whole time when we were we've evaluated all these positions. That was some of the earliest work that Boy Green meets Wudi did on this show, was evaluating each position. I said I wanted Carter Warren at least 2 injuries away. At least I was trying to get anybody.
And he isn't right now because he's the top flight depth chart to Morgan Moses right now.
Well, wouldn't Olu be a swing?
From what Salah said, which is good. I'm actually doing this for Boy Green Daily tomorrow morning, so we can get a little preview. Salah said that Fashanu is staying at left and Carter staying at right. So instead of having a traditional swing, where again that would be the 6th man off the bench, the Jets are not operating in that light. That if Tyron gets hurt, Olu's moving up. But if Morgan was to get hurt, from what it's set up as, Fashanu would not jump in. It would be Carter Warren. So you're 2 injuries away. I'm afraid to burst your bubble here, pal, but it's the Carter Warren show, baby.
Well, might have to edit the list. But the left side looked good. The left side, right? Having Tyron there, right? I don't expect Tyron to play every game, but Fashanu, I have utmost confidence in him stepping up in those games. And like we said, going into training camp, we're talking July moving forward. Like, I think just having those tackles around, that's where we have some of our most of our wisdom and age. Obviously, quarterback was another. I said that was a tremendous position, a great pick from Boy Green. But at that tackle position, so much wisdom to not only help that side of the ball, but the other side, the Jermaines and the Wills and, everybody down there. I think it is a very strong position, maybe not as strong since Carter is indeed 1 injury. I thought that Fashanu was swinging, Hollywood swinging. I thought he was swinging, left, right. But, let's just hope Morgan be eating his Wheaties every day.
Yeah, again, I will save most of this for Boy Green Daily tomorrow, but I kind of like that they're keeping Olu at left and then the next guy is at right. It's non-traditional. Again, normally you have a swing tackle for that, but now instead of Olu learning Guatemalan, just learn left tackle, and that's your job, and be the best left tackle you can be. I think that is best for business. Let's move to number 2 on the list, and I love this group. Love. It's the cornerbacks, man. Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, Michael Carter II, Brandon Eccles, and some guy named Quantez Stiggers. The entire group I feel great about. We've seen Eccles before. He's captain Pick 6 Tua, who we love. He's entering a contract year. DJ's entering contract year. MC2. All these guys are entering contract years, but Sauce Gardner is the best cornerback in football. Michael Carter II is arguably the best slot corner in football. DJ Reed is a top 10 corner in football. And then Eccles, like I said, has proven in spots that he can start and he can get action in. And that's fine, even though he won't be in that position this year. Again, injuries pending. And then Quantez Stiggers is just such a fun player, man. He's not your typical rookie. While he won Rookie of the Year, he was playing in a grown-ass man game in Canadian Football League, which I think has translated early with him making a lot of plays. And he's got a swagger. He's got a confidence. And I just love this cornerback room. If any of these guys were starting, I'd feel great about it. But specifically with this depth chart, it's the strongest, arguably, on the entire team. They're spectacular. There's star power. There's youth. There's everything. And this is the backbone of the New York Jets defense. So give it to me, baby. I'm putting the cornerbacks at number 2 on the list.
A mighty fine choice. Mighty fine choice. My number 2 is not the corners. It is the kicker.
I see.
Greg Zerline. Give me Greg the Leg, man. Oh my God. They call him Legatron. They call him all these names. Like I just said, Greg the Leg. Walk Zerline, my man's. That can really, when you talk about making the run to the Super Bowl, special teams matters. I know they get literally zero love for the media. If you have ESPN tell you the story, it'll be that, these quarterbacks play this game one-on-one, but that is not the case. There are 3 phases to this game: offense, defense, special teams, and all of them play a huge role in making it, first of all, making it to the Super Bowl, and then actually winning the damn thing. I mean, how many times, we want to talk about Tom Brady's 7 rings. How many of those rings were won by a kick, a game-winning field goal? If that's how the Jets story plays out, I don't want any of these random kickers that we've seen since Jason Myers back there. Give me Greg Zerline, feeling great. John talking about it's called football. So give me that boy's foot. Give me Greg Zerline's foot. Okay. I feel so confident. I love it. He's done, he's just kicking OTAs, doing his thing. I feel the utmost confident. And I think that's a position that the Jets are super strong in that they don't get enough credit for.
I might have to throw a challenge flag on the Wiki Feet references that are going on right now. What the heck? Anywho, but I do respect it. That's pretty good. And this is, we've been very specific with positions. In this particular case, I will choose the flexibility clause because number 1 on my list is kicker, punter, and long snapper. I'm putting the special teams group. I won't count coverage units and things of that nature. That's going too far on my flexibility. But as the core special teams group of Greg Zerline, who's a near Pro Bowl kicker, absolutely clutch, automatic, quite frankly, in 99% of the scenarios last year. Thomas Morstead's a freak. He's fantastic. He's spectacular. He gets the job done. You can look at the advanced analytics with inside 20 punts, which are spectacular. Inside 5, he was the league leader in the NFL this past season. And Thomas Hennessy, and people are like, who the hell is Thomas Hennessy? That shows his greatness, that you don't know his name, because he just gets the job done. He's the longest tenured Jet on the team. He joined the team back in 2017, and he's just been there, and he's just rock solid. And you never hear of him because he doesn't fuck up. He just delivers. He just long snaps to what we need. And he is an astute guy. And I've had Morstead on my show several times, and he always wants to give the flowers to Thomas Hennessy, who said, without him and the entire operation, we aren't as good as we are. So 100% got to give the love to the special teams group who, and someone said it earlier, I'll see if I can pull it up real quick, that all those guys, yeah, there it is, Tio said it. I'll throw it up on the screen. By the way, he's also a member of the Boy Green Coffee Club. Boop, boop, boop. YouTube membership. Make sure you join. Shameless plug. But he also does say here in the comment, you're right, Wudi, when you were talking, kicker punter either Pro Bowl or close to Pro Bowl level, or even all pro level in certain cases, as you look at that. And that's in terms of confidence and strength of a unit. It feels great to have that third. And that third, a lot of people eye roll and don't give the love. But when you really think about what separates good teams from great teams, if the Jets are in all these conversations, special teams is going to be even more important than ever before. When they lose these crazy-ass, stupid games in a 4-12, 4-13 season, yeah, okay, I can understand how Greg Zerline's nailed kick gets lost in the shuffle. When you are in closer games because of Aaron Rodgers and it comes down to a field goal, it comes down to a field position battle or a long snapper mistake. This is going to be the difference between the good team and the great team. That's where we're using different G letter words in the vernacular, baby. Give me them as the number 1 group.
Well, golly gee, with all these G words, definitely trying to be great. And I love the respect for special teams. I actually did have it as kicker, punter. I'm not, no disrespect to Hennessy.
Oh,
I
okay.
did not write long snapper, but I went, specific to the position. And I didn't know, how that would be received. So I went kicker. But yes, definitely love and respect for Morstead and Hennessy too. I'm not trying to disrespect Thomas Hennessy.
Wow.
My number one, and the reason why I chose to put that number 2 as opposed to, you had a number 1 is that Zerline missed a game or 2 last season.
That was right. The Cowboys game he missed. I went down to the Cowboys game, and they had to get a hired mercenary kicker for a groin. I can't remember what the injury was, so excuse me for that. But whatever it was, right? They had to do a kicker tryout that week, and we were heading to Dallas for that game. I remember.
So, I mean, if he goes down, because that's what I said. I told you from the beginning that was going to be my consistent theme, how I felt from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. If I said the drop off from Brees to anybody else is steep. The drop off from Greg the Lake to anybody.
That's a good point.
That's steep.
It's a good point.
So at number 1, give me a unit that was out. They were without their number 1, without their number 2, and they went against the Super Bowl participant Philadelphia Eagles and just smacked them like it didn't matter, literally, and forced turnovers. It wasn't even like, they skated by. No, they completely dominated that offense. Give me the cornerback position. You can literally operate there on autopilot. Give me autopilot, and they are doing work top to bottom. Contest stickers. I'm so excited for him. Obviously, I hope in a perfect world he doesn't really play too much, but if he does have to play, I'm excited to see what the boy can do. But this is a defense and a scheme that really, really benefits the cornerback position because of how often they get pressure. So, for them, they just got to do their job, and they do it better than anybody. That's why PFF loves them so much. That is a position that I'm sleep. I'm not even worried about them.
Wudi, I have the crazy intro, and people say, "Oh man, Boy Green, your intros are crazy." Like it says that in the intro, right? The intro of the intro. It's like an Inception thing. If you really start to think about it, we're going to be sent to a different universe. But normally you, which again, you handle all the intros on this show, and Will Parkinson's like, "Oh man, Wudi, this freaking guy is amazing." I'm gonna have to throw a flag on the Eagles intro, because what you're trying to do, you were trying to prop them up, saying like, "Man, this team was freaking awesome," and the Jets took care of business. Super Bowl participant, you could have said NFC champion. Oh, okay, like Super Bowl participant. yeah, they were there. I bought a ticket. Ooh, I was there too. We were.
No, that's a 10D. That's a Super Bowl attendee.
Okay, an ND participant, they kind of get lost in the sauce. And the valet for the car guy, where's this thing being parked? Again, this isn't an Eagle show. Not that I particularly care, but I just think NFC champion, a 10-1 start. There's just a lot of way. Which again, the only defeat was to the New York Jets during that time. Thank you very much. But there just could have been a lot of different angles. It's a great stat. It's still somewhat unbelievable. I remember everyone just writing off the Jets in that game. First off, the Jets had never beaten the Eagles in general full strength, let alone what happened. Like, no sauce, no DJ Reed. I remember Jake Asman's metal going, "Oh boy, guys, this is going to be a bloodbath. Like, this is over." And then for them to overcome is just great. So just again, if you're really trying to prop them up, just feel like some different vernacular perhaps could have fit the bill better. But different strokes.
Fair enough. They were obviously definitely NFC NFC champions, and I think the more relevant, not relevant, but relevant stat is the 10-1. Like you said, the 10-1 start, and the Jets were the 1 in 10-1. They were Brock Lesnar, and again, I was without Sauce. I was without DJ Reed. Not to say that they are unimportant, but just the way that the scheme, again, Salah's defense scheme, I think, as long as the person that comes in does their job, they will look good. The defense will be good, and they can get turnovers. Maybe if Sauce was there, he would drop. What Bryce Hall was catching. I don't know. We see him drop a couple. So I'm feeling real good about that position from top to bottom. That is the different. You talk about running back. You talk about some of the other ones. I don't feel as good top to bottom as I do about cornerback.
And it's fair. And for everyone, because I know some people join us live. Again, we're in a very special start time. So if you were waiting for the 3 o'clock, I understand how you potentially could have missed this show. But for anyone who's watching this after the fact or live, you can also drop those in. I'd love to hear your guys' top 5 list because I saw a lot of variety. There are positions, obviously, we didn't touch, especially, again, when you talk about specific natures of overall offensive line or overall defensive line. One person tried to do overall defense like a Yahoo Fantasy Football League or something. Give us those top 5s. I'd love to interact with them, and so will Wudi on YouTube. So send them down in the comments section, even after the show. What is your top 5 strongest units? And feel free, if there's some distinction between top 5 strongest and top 5 you feel most confident in heading into training camp. I'd be very curious to see some of those. So feel free to lay those out in the comment section.
Absolutely. We can't wait to see those. And I'm sure you can't wait to see who we got coming to the party. Third Party Thursday. It's coming up. All right. So we're going to have somebody. We're going to do what we normally do is talk New York Jets, 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 baby. So, come on down in a couple of days. But we definitely appreciate you guys riding with us. I was expecting crickets, just tumbleweeds in the comments, on this special start time, but you guys have been popping off. So I definitely, I really enjoyed communicating with you guys this Tuesday afternoon.
And again, I'll give a quick rapid fire to all the people that decided to pop in. We had Uncle Tia. We had William joining us. We appreciate you. King Lowski, Royalty. Jets, Jets, baby. We appreciate you hopping in on our YouTube feed as well. So again, the Tios, the Williams, the K-Brock, John Hepburn, all of you crazy bastards that hopped in here on the show, and Hennessy Heisman, one of the true OGs. All of you guys jumping in, Greg, Lone Wolf, and everybody else. And also shout out to our Instagram people. I see Nick, Jim, Jets Planet, Connor, who always does the boy Green James Wudi in all caps. We appreciate you. So everyone on the gram, on the FB. Oh, now he jumped over to YouTube. Oh, wow, that's impressive. So yeah, we're streaming all these different, just jumping over. Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, bang, boom, bam. All these young kids and the gizmos and the gadgets and the quick ability to jump all over the place. It's impressive. Anywho, wherever you're consuming us, we appreciate it. So Wudi, a fun show, and I'm looking forward to the again, I always want to call it Threesome Thursday. Again, Third Party Thursday. Sorry, I got to get that out of my head. I'm in the gutter. What's on my search history? Who knows? Only God. Here we are.
Whew. Well, on that note, we will leave that where it is. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. You got Boy Green Daily tomorrow. And again, we will have a special guest in 2 days. Enjoy this day.
God bless, and we'll see you, everybody. Peace.